Milwaukee Public Schools is the largest school district in Wisconsin. As of 2015 and 2016 school year, MPS served about 76,000 students in 150 schools, with about 10,000 full-time staff. My name is Maya Karma, and in this video I'll be interviewing staff members, asking them the importance of diversity in MPS.
McCarty. I work for Milwaukee Public Schools, Specialized Services. My purpose is being able to reach as many children, young youth, that I am able to reach and help guide and direct and structure in the right direction.
My name is Grayson Burt. I'm the lead youth advisor at James Madison Academic Campus, Milwaukee Violence Free Zone. My role is, we're basically youth advisors in the school full-time. We tutor students, mentor students. If students are about to fight, we help them mediate the situation. And we just basically are student advocates.
My name is Mr. Rivas. I am the site supervisor for the Milwaukee Violence Free Zone program. The program itself is geared to each high school. We're in about 12 different high schools in Milwaukee. We work with kids one-on-one basis. The advisor portion deals with the umbrella of different support, whether it be behavior issues, whether it be attendance, whether it be grades, whether it may be emotional, whether it may be community outreach. There's a couple of different areas where we touch in with kids, but it's mainly we work as advocates for our kids, as mentors. That's the major piece. We deal with conflict resolution, restorative practices as well.
Rebecca Rice. I am a math teacher at a Milwaukee public school.
I do think there's diversity in MPS. Why? Because we see it. We have a lot of different diverse schools. Do I think that it's spread out evenly amongst MPS? No. As we can see it here in Madison, we're probably about 90%, if not more, African American. I spent some years at South Division where it was a little bit more diverse at South Division.
I think there's diversity in MPS. In a general sense, there is diversity, yes. There's just lots of different types of people who work in the schools. So yeah, in the students as well. Yeah, it's diverse.
Okay. I've seen diversity, I would say maybe more so in your elementary type settings of schools, some of your junior high. As far as your high school, there is diversity more towards on the south side. More than the north side, I would say, from what I've seen. Why that is, I'm not sure, but being an alumni of MPS, I graduated from James Madison High School, and back some years ago, I'm not going to tell my age, but we did have diversity. And so coming back into the field of working for MPS and coming to my alumni school and not seeing that was more of a culture shock for me, I would say. I remember back then where you had your Caucasians, you had your Latinos, your African Americans, and so forth, and to come to it being primarily all African American, that was a little different for me.
Diversity, I think there is diversity in MPS schools. It depends on what school you're at. Like the South Side has predominantly Hispanic. North Side, predominantly African American. I feel like there could be more diverse with Caucasian white people, but there is some diversity.
Enjoy it. I think it's a great way to build relationships with people who are different than me. And I think it's just a great opportunity to learn other people's perspectives.
The staff members are predominantly white, and there are some blacks. So I think there could be more diverse, because the more is just predominantly white. So
I think when you look at the staff across the board, a lot of our youth, one of the biggest things biggest things that I hear from our youth is that we don't have enough black teachers and enough diverse teachers. And so on that aspect, and that's what kind of what I stated before, that to hire more diverse staff that are qualified to teach our kids, that are qualified to grasp the attention of our students, to help engage them. Myself, it's been a great experience for me. I'm not only learning about people, learning how to deal with the new age coming up youth, and learning about the different ethnic backgrounds and learning their values and their views as well. So it's been a joyful journey for me.
You have a school that's culturally pretty much African American, and you have a nice amount of Caucasian teachers teaching the African American kids. And not that they can't do it, but history has shown that when you have the African American student who has to be taught or learned by the Caucasian or other ethnic other than their race, then you pose almost a problem right there. Because a lot of our children today, they're looking and searching for their history, which is the black history. And we don't have that a lot in the schools today. It's been taken out. So to have a predominantly all black school with a nice amount of a ratio of more Caucasian teachers to your black teachers, I think that in itself poses a problem.
Over the course of my life, I went to 4 different schools. My first grade year, I went to Grand Avenue Middle School. My second to 5th grade year, I went to Milwaukee Academy of Chinese Language, aka MACO. And my 6th to 8th grade year, I had a big change and switched to Mount Lebanon Lutheran School, which is a private school. And lastly, my freshman to senior year, I switched to James Madison Academic Campus, aka JMAC. Throughout those 4 different schools, I got to see different students and staff members. So in a way, it was diverse.
Diversity is important because we're stronger together than we are apart. Like, we all come from different backgrounds, but if we unite together for a common aim, we're better off as a society.
Yes, I think that having diversity in schools, especially high schools, it's needed. I think that it would bring about a change far-wise as different cultures and the way things, the way people see things, people's point of views, and learn from one another. So learning from one another in a diverse setting, I think would pose as a good thing for our schools, especially high schools.
Milwaukee Public Schools partnering with UW-Madison to expand a college prep program for diversity and low-income students. Patrick Sims and Gail Ford with the People Program at UW-Madison join us now. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having
us. So tell us about the People Program. It's a very interesting partnership to help students right here in Milwaukee.
Yes, actually we're celebrating 20 years this year. So we're returning to our roots. This is a recruitment program that we've developed to really create an opportunity for students who otherwise wouldn't think about going to college to actually think about going to college. So we want them to have that opportunity to attend UW-Madison, of course, but we're open to supporting students to attend all of our UW schools.
And Gail, for you to expand those opportunities for kids who otherwise would not think of going to college, what is that like?
Sure. So we really see ourselves as not only expanding and having an expectation for themselves to go, but we also want to provide a path for them to get there. And so we're providing a myriad of services from after-school tutoring, summer camps at UW, ACT prep, FAFSA preparation, anything that you need if you want to go to college to be prepared to get there. Our program wants to support students to get there.
I was actually a part of the People Program, and being a People Program was really good and different for me, seeing other races, cultures, and religions that I did not get to see in Milwaukee or James Madison.
Because, you know, you only have 4 years to academically prepare. And if you mess up that first year of high school, that's a short turnaround time in terms of being able to make some corrections and then being competitive in the application process. We're a world-class institution, so we draw some of the best students from across the globe. We want to take care of the students that are right here in the state of Wisconsin, and of course the city of Milwaukee.
What changes can be made to make schools more diverse? I think if we hire more diversity and if we provide more diverse classes, giving the kids an opportunity to learn about the different ethnic backgrounds, to learn more about what's going on in the world, to know more about where people are from.
I think student-wise, we're really diverse. I don't think we need to work too much on that. I think that staff-wise, though, we need to recruit more teachers of color, more non-white teachers. There are a lot of teachers who are white. And I don't want to say that being white's the problem, but if you're white, you need to understand the culture you're working with and the people you're working with. So I think that it's important to be culturally relevant if you are a white person working in MPS. But if you're a non-white person working in MPS, you already understand what a lot of our students are going through because that might be your lived experience. So I think that it's key to recruit teachers of color, administrators of color, and people who just genuinely care about student outcomes.
Kind of tough for me to speak on because there's a lot of good. We hear a lot of bad, especially within the MPS high school setting. You hear of a lot of negative things that take place. However, no one really speaks a lot about the positive that's going on within our high school settings. And the diversity being I go back to that being in the high schools, I think it just balances things. It balances for a people to gather and come together as one when you have more of a diverse setting in your schools.
The school I went to, it's the reverse of Madison. It's about 90% white, but 95% white, and 5% people who are non-white. And then James Madison is about 90% black, and a few other people, and just a few white students. So it's like the opposite, right? But so it's different. It's a lot different than where I went to school, but I still think that it's been powerful being in a setting I'm not used to and learning new skills, how to work with different types of people. That's super important. So I think that there's been an uphill climb sometimes, sure, but you learn and you grow. You just learn how to operate and you learn how to work with different types of people. It's a huge skill in life.
As I was growing up, it was more diverse. It was more diverse in the areas where I grew up. I kind of bounced around the city a lot, from the south side, the east side, north side, and so I've been around a lot of more diverse communities. I've been around a lot more people than you see now.
And why do you think it's important to have diversity in the lives of the youth?
Well, diversity gives you the opportunity to grow from each other, to learn from each other. But the thing about that is that we have to be able to know each other. And diversity plays a huge part in that. To know where you're coming from before we can start growing together. And then I can value your views and value your ideas and value your perspective as well. And so I think we have to understand and respect where people come from to move forward.